Hi, I'm Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons& and Dragons 5th edition and a campaign I recently ran with my friends that was inspired specifically by Fast and Furious. What I want to present today is just a report on a recent campaign that I ran. It was 5 sessions long. I ran it with a group of my players: Reggie, Norman, Becky, and Pat. And essentially, what we did, so we were running our normal game, and after our normal game, one of the players was talking about the Fast and Furious movies, and we were talking about the different eras in the Fast and Furious movies. And we were all kind of reminiscing about Fast and Furious 1, 2, and 3. Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, right? And so we got talking about it, and all of us were like, we really love this. All of us were pretty big fans of Fast and Furious series, but we really, really thought that the first three movies are really special because they had a street racing focus. When it gets to movie 4, it starts to get into like international espionage, and we're like, how does that fit with cars? And so we really, really like the Fast and Furious 1, 2, and 3. So one of the players had talked about that, and when we came back, we had all rewatched, or watched Fast and Furious 1, 2, and 3, right? And one of the players was like, man, I wish we could put some of that, juice in our Dungeons and Dragons games, specifically Pat. And I was like, could we do that? And so what I did was I ran a short independent campaign, and it was Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, and we called it the Fast and Furious Asphalt campaign, right? And basically what I did was I put a layer of rules over it, of our own custom rules that captured the energy and the tone of Fast and Furious 1, 2, and 3, all right? So I'm going to share those with you now, and then I'll report how this went, right? So I did what was called the over-the-shoulder smile. That was every player character gets a charisma +2 across the board, right? Because charisma is so important in Fast and Furious. I did the swole roll, right? Everybody in the Fast and Furious is completely swole, except like maybe the cop boss, right? And like they're all like really beefy, right? Even like Michelle Rodriguez has more muscles than I do. Like it was like crazy. So everybody gets a strength +2, right? Then I did the I live my life a quarter mile at the time. This is once per scene. Each player character would get one extra standard action they could use anywhere on their turn, right? So you're a little more faster, a little more furiouser, right? It was cool. It worked. And then there was the Dominic Toretto stance, right? This was once per session, right? Any player character could do an intimidate check, right? Use intimidate even if they didn't have intimidate, right? And if their player character's strength was a higher score than the NPC that they were using it on, then it would succeed without roll once per scene. And like that goes to that, like, how muscle is used in the Fast and Furious, the first three films, right? The next one was really fun. I used one more gear. And one more gear is once per scene, any player character could use any feat of a class up to 8 levels higher than their current class. They could just immediately, temporarily add that to their character and use that feat, right? And so basically you could use, and that gets to that, Fast and Furious, there's always one more gear. Even though you've shifted 5 times, you're going to do 7th, 8th, 9th shift, right? Like, because if you watch these races, they just keep shifting, and you're like, are there any gears left, right? So this represented that you could use feats almost like gears. You could just add temporarily a feat that you did not have up to 8 levels higher than your current level. The only caveat is you had to cycle through all the feats before you could reuse any feat, okay? And so that was our Fast and Furious Asphalt layer, and it worked fantastically. We had so much fun with it, and the players said, hey, this really does capture the energy and the tone of the Fast and Furious 1, 2, and 3, which were focused on street racing. We had a blast with it. It was really, really fun. So I just wanted to share with you how it worked, how we went about it, how we added the tone of Fast and Furious, Fast and Furious 1, 2, and 3 to a D&D 5th edition campaign. And of course, everything I just listed, melds, really well with the 5th edition rule set, and it worked fantastic, and the players were really happy, and I had a blast running it. Just want to share that with you. Thank you very much for letting me share my thoughts with you today. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.